Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Big Meech flees the country with all BMF money. 50 Cent crashes out. This is what I find on one of the YouTube joints, so I'm going to do a reaction to it. Wack 100, he gets into speaking about the situation. Then Little Meech gets into speaking about all the money he made and the things he brought. And then there's a young female out that's doing YouTube, did really good, breaking down how she look at it. And it goes through, but watch it and check out the reaction. Make sure you subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel at Juanita Mecca Audio. All right? You know what it is, Unique Mecca Audio, man. Check it out. We just here chilling, and we doing this video, and this is with Wack and all that, and he's gonna speak on how he look at this Big Meech situation, and I want y'all to listen. I think he dropped some jewels in this. Make sure you pay attention. All right, it's on you, Wack.
Sided with Ross, some bozos. You got 19 years of being incarcerated. That 50 could have took that and converted that to about 5 seasons and then turned around and then did the overall movie. He had a good 30 to 50 million he could have made. Now you standing next to a mother who couldn't even keep a concert going. Rick Ross is on the concert.
Second on the line.
In about 10 days, Ross is gonna throw him away. Now, I'm gonna be real with you, Meech. If Rick Ross, seeing what he did to you, because he knew what he was doing standing on the side of him, right? He know Meech ain't thinking straight. If he don't throw you 3 wing stops, you ought to knock that down.
Yo, he said if you don't throw him 3 wing stops, knock that out. Hey, yo, but see, this is real though, man. Wack just spoke some real stuff, man. You've been in 19 years. You came out and you walk into the plug. You walk out the plug of dealing with illegal narcotics, and you walk into the film plug. You walk into the hip-hop plug. Everything you needed was at your fingertips with 50 Cent. All you had to do was communicate. But for some reason, I feel as though you felt like you wanted to be Big Meech. You still on top of the world and you still making things happen. But no, Meech, you done put your work in. Right now, you're supposed to sit back, kick your feet up. You know, check out my man Farris joint, Feet Up, Feet Up Entertainment, and the cannabis brand. But we got your feet up and your son doing the work and being the face of the new BMF. And you were supposed to kick back like a Don with your 3-piece suits on, smoking your cigars, looking like a grandfather. You put your work in, but you're diminishing it the more you listen to the people that's around you. I talked to one of your homeboys, I think his name was Cancun Benny. Spoke very highly of you, right? Said you gave him the name when y'all was in Cancun. I'm going to bring him up here. We're going to do a little something with Cancun Benny later on. But you're supposed to just fall back, man, and just let your son run the show. That was supposed to be the new face of BMF. He did a great job on the series, thanks to 50 Cent for taking him in, putting him in acting school and all that, and doing everything he needed to do. But he got him the bag, man. And that's why we're going to tell you about Cash App. Cash App is a secure line that you can send your money and keep it in a virtual safe, meaning you send the money to John Doe. You didn't mean to send that much or that amount to John Doe because you was really having an affair with Susie Doe. So John Doe goes to accept the money, but it'll let you know from the virtual vault, right, that John Doe is accepting the money. And you say, nah, that's not who I want to send it to. I want to send it to Jane Doe. She treats me the best. So you can pull it back and send it to Jane Doe, and John Doe never knows the wiser, and the money goes to where it want, and you change the amount, you do what you want, and it even got something called, I'm gonna tell you about that a little later, but let's get back into, this joint here.
What 50 gonna do? He finna burn that down. He gonna release that last season, and then he's gonna release the Tammy and discredit everything that people thought that man.
Earlier did my new BMF.
See, so that means that 50 Cent holds the key to the BMF legacy and future. Because if he writes this movie, he got first dibs to put it out to finish the last season. Stars is going to be on him. He's going to say, I don't care what petty beef you got, because it's petty to us. That's your rap world. Leave your rap crap in your rap world. You know what I mean? And get me this season that I paid you for. And don't let me have to call you boy. You know, this is what Stars going to tell him, right? So 50 going to have to put it together, and the whole time he got venom in his heart from Meech crossing him like that. And from Little Meech siding with him, taking pictures with Mayweather and his ops and running around. They making it even worse because he still holds the key to the last season. If y'all was playing chess, y'all will fall back, don't say nothing, let him go on his rant, get the season done, get the bag, and then move forward. But right now, the season is going to be written geared towards discrediting your family and showing that your family's legacy bred a rat. That's what 50's doing right now. You can't get no more treacherous than that in the street world. 50 is branding BMF as rats. That's some serious shit right there. That's the worst title to have being on the street. Meech come home, king of the world, ready to go. He got the Stars thing going. He got his son getting money, the big BMF chain to come home to. He goes home, and here goes Tammy thinking he's coming to her, but instead he jumps ship, and he goes to Meech baby mama, who did a great job raising him and also allowed him to go to the prom with Rick Ross' daughter twice. So I'm sure Meech talked to Rick Ross during this time. Rick Ross had plenty of opportunity to look out for Meech during that time. He had plenty of opportunity to look out for Little Meech. Little Meech was trying to rap during that time. He didn't do nothing for y'all, man. So what on God's green earth and blue sea would allow you or put the inkling in your mind to go deal with this man when he had a chance to do for you? He didn't do for you, and he's beefing with the man at the highest degree that is doing for you. Explain that one to me, Meech. Now we sit here and we got Little Meech, right? Little Meech is on the joint. He's getting ready to show you his jewels and how he wasted the bag while his father had to go beg Rick Ross to do a show. And yeah, I said beg. Yeah, I said beg. Because that's all it was. You know, that's all it was. You know, he went thinking he had to beg. Rick Ross already had ulterior motive in order to use him, flip him, and throw him out like the feds do after they use you. Because the feds is going to come out. They're going to release whatever paperwork, whether Meech is hot or he's not hot. So it's going to come out. That's why I don't say nothing. I just sit back and I let it play out. Because you can't hide documents. You have to justify everything in the court papers, and they have what they call freedom of information. That's why when Wack 100 mentioned about Jim Jones, I let them know that it's up to the feds what they want to do, and whatever they do is documented. Whether you have access to it today, next month, next year, 5 years from now. It's documented so they could look back and see what took course during the course of the time. Now, let's get back to Lil Meech flossing.
Piece. My old BM pieces I don't have no more. Elliot charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams.
$200,000 Cuban, 11 grams. And now your father is running to Rick Ross. I hope you see where you went wrong, Little Meech.
It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3-4 hours. My neck started hurting. The lock say Eliante on it. You know, say his name, his signature. They got the 3 big boogers on each side.
You know what, Little Meech? If that's worth all that, which I'm sure it is, you could have taken that and you could have just easily pawned that and do your own concert for your dad. That chain was the concert. But see, that's how hustler think. But you went to school to be a businessman. But you should have taken accounting classes to know how to account for your money. Then you would have been able to know that you could take that same chain, went through the same concert, wouldn't need Rick Ross, and if you would have went to 50 that you're going to pawn the chain and go throw a concert for your dad because you didn't want him to go ask Rick Ross, and Rick Ross been asking him, 50 would have said, man, put the chain up, man. I got you. It was so many ways that could have been played out. You had it, my dude.
So ain't no regular queue, you know, you might find a regular queue for 50 or for 100 maybe, but you know, it's 200. Just
200,000 and now your father's begging Rick Ross to throw him a concert. Stop it, man.
for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3, just for a pendant. There's some shit like...
That's $500,000 on his neck. Y'all don't think that he could have threw the concert for his father instead of going to Rick Ross and keep the faith going to 50 Cent so everything would have been all right with them? Somebody put in the comments and let me know, because I'm really confused about all this, but I can say it really fast because I'm stuck.
You gotta give my daddy, like, when he come home, I gotta keep this forever, like, you know. You can't even go no bigger than this, you know. You don't see no silver or gold, you see straight the water.
I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn, wanted some bread, or maybe he spent all the bread because he made a couple of million with 5.
I go out and spend $50,000, $100,000 every night, 2-3 nights in a row, 3-4 nights in a row.
BMF boss, the legend Big Meech, has a GoFundMe page.
What?
It was said that this GoFundMe page was set up to assist him in paying his bills since his Welcome Home concert got canceled.
Meech getting out of jail and choosing to work with his son's boss's rival is prime example of how an unhealed parent can literally ruin your life.
And this is a young lady speaking this wisdom.
They will mess up relationships with your friends, with your significant other. You might even lose your job. Cause nobody can tell me that Big Meech working with Rick Ross, his son's boss's known rival, was not deliberate. Okay, that is a very conscious choice. And why might a parent do that, right? Maybe if they have some trauma, you know, a little bit of resentment and jealousy. Because sometimes with an unhealed parent, all of the reasons they should be proud of you are the same reasons why they're a little bit jealous of you, right? Each should have came home and made his coming home about family. You know, passing the ranks to his son on TV, making millions, looking good, he acting, got a career. You shouldn't even be all on the phones, on Instagram, trying to do a car show with Rick Ross. It'll never be 2008 again. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't healed that. So now you trying to relive your 20s. So you're not seeing your son's accomplishments as this is my son's accomplishments. You're seeing it as like almost like competition. Like, oh, you trying to one-up me? Now the real Big Meech is home. So now let me show you how to get some money. Let me show you how to do it. I'm gonna go work with your boss's rival. You think Big Meech thought about how him working with Rick Ross would affect his son? Cause no, all I'm thinking about is some clout, some temporary clout. Because let's be clear, that relationship with Rick Ross and Big Meech is not real. It's not genuine. If somebody is with you just to spite somebody else, that is not a genuine bond.
All right, so Big Meech's money.
Yo, that young lady just broke it down perfect. How you gonna go with your boss's son, right? Your son's boss's rival, and didn't think that that was gonna affect your son? Like, what world are you in? And you from the street. Meech, you know better than that. You know better than that. It's a shame that you even went down that road, but I understand because I know what it's like just coming home in this world and you looking at things one way and then you see that it's not the way you left it, and then now you discombobulated. That's equivalent to you standing on the side of the highway and 2 18-wheelers go by and you know how the wind just shake you and your body go, you know what I mean? I'm talking about, you know what I mean? You think they go, you get ready to crash, you know? Let's go.
Money problems are all over the news, and Tony Yayo ain't holding back on the details. In a wild new interview, Yayo spilled the tea on why 50 Cent turned his back on Big Meech. And trust me, it's all about the money. Turns out Meech spent all his BMF cash, and his son did the same thing. And it gets worse. 50 Cent has completely cut ties with them, even threatening to pull the plug on BMF. So now, Big Meech and his son are out here with no way to make money. It's safe to say this family is teetering on the edge of financial disaster, and they can't blame anyone but themselves. So, What exactly did Tony have to say, and how deep are they really in the hole? Let's dive in and find out.
Okay, now the question everyone's been asking about. 50 Cent versus Big Meech.
Man,
Woo.
You know that 50 crazy, man. 50's crazy.
So Tony Yayo recently sat down with Vlad TV, and he had some wild things to say about Big Meech's money problems. Here's the deal. When Meech got out of prison on October 15, 2024, Tony swung by his crib with a few homies. Now, Big Meech started complaining to him about Lil Meech not coming through with any cash. Turns out, Meech's pockets are empty these days, and he was hoping his son would look out for him. But Tony, he didn't feel a lick of sympathy for him. According to Yayo, Meech has nobody to blame but himself for this mess. He blew all that BMF money instead of handling it right.
But when we go to your crib and me and Murder sitting in the backyard and you like, yo, little baby ain't give me no money. He came in the Ferrari truck, he had the Ferrari truck, he had 4 pockets full. I'm looking at this like, yo, this nigga tripping. Like, little baby he's not obligated to give you nothing. I looked at it like, from that point, maybe 50 should have brung a bag for Meech and maybe a watch or something.
But see, 50 didn't bring a bag to Meech because 50 wanted Meech right where he had him, dead broke on his knuckles, dependent upon him, so the world could see what you look like after you become a kingpin to sell over $200-300 million worth of drugs to come home to nothing. And he's on top right now, and he's 50 Cent. And this man is on the bottom, so 50's vested interest was not in allowing or seeing Meech rise or elevate. It was to discredit him and diminish him and break him down to the lowest form, which all you're seeing is him doing it early because Meech jumped out there and took the picture with Rick Ross. Everybody bugged out. Don't know why 50 reacted like that. But bottom line is, when it's war, and if you're my enemy's friend, you're my enemy as well. And if you're my enemy's friend's son, you're also my enemy, little Meech. You know, that's what 50's really saying. So you got to know what it is. 50 done took the street war into the entertainment business, into the social media world. The same way I'm bringing you the laws and codes. If you want the real over here, this is where you get it from Unique Mecca Audio. I'm going to be doing a show later on about how Diddy may be coming home so y'all could see the evidence and understand that don't believe everything you hear on social media because they could spin it to be anything they want.
Because obviously that's what Ross did or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I had in mind. Because he said it to me and Murder, and I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn. He wanted some bread, or maybe he spent all the bread because he made a couple of million with 5. My whole thing is, maybe the relationship would be good as if you saved some money for your pops when he came home, but I understand how it is to be a young black man with money, and you don't make the right decisions.
Apparently, that's the reason Boozy agreed to do a freebie for him. Welcome Back Home concert for Meech before it got canceled.
I'm assuming that you were doing it for free.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming everyone else was doing it for free also.
I'm pretty. I don't, but I'm pretty. I mean,
yeah.
You charging niggas home from jail,
If Meech was hoping Lil Meech would fill his pockets, he's about to be really disappointed. Turns out, Junior's just like his pops when it comes to blowing money. According to Yayo, Lil Meech dropped a wild $100,000 on Chrome Hearts jeans. Dude owns like 10 pairs.
10 pair of jeans for $100,000, and now your father is running to your boss's #1 opposition. Do you see where you went wrong, little Meech? Do you really see where you went wrong? We all did that. I'm guilty. So let's ride. We sit here, we make millions of dollars, and no one teaches us how to manage it. But here it is, 2025. There's no way for little Meech to be there and nobody around him to show him how to manage it. Like, no disrespect. Where was Mom Dukes at? Where was Grandma at? Or he just stayed away from everybody. That might have been it, because I know for a fact, without a doubt in my mind, that his mother knew what to do. But 9 times out of 10, he wanted to do him. He's grown. She had to let him do what he's doing because he earned his money, you know? But that's where we at, man.
It's clear he ain't great with his money, because if he was, he would have been helping his pops out instead of flexing on designer gear.
To be young and have money is crazy, because we was young and had money before, so I understand. Motherfucker got Richard Millie's, Lil Meech got Richard Millie's Chrome Heart jeans, 10,000. I buy some chrome hearts for 10,000. I might wear them shits for a month, bro. $10,000 jeans. You know, we was buying red monkeys. Them shits is what $1,000 back in the days. Now everything is like triple the price when it comes to drip. So it's like, I understand him being young and all that. You gotta think, when you look at Lil Meech, no disrespect to him, but you hanging in Atlanta with Thugger and Gunna and the niggas at that point, them niggas got super bread. So even if you make 4 million, 3 million, you made a couple of million, whatever you made, I don't know the numbers exactly. The money that they making that in a couple of months. Or for touring and streaming and all that, you acting. So I think him being in Atlanta, I think that shit, I don't know, that Atlanta, you know, shout out to Magic City, the ladies man and all them clubs out there. That is a good way to spend money.
And fans know Tony ain't playing around, because back in 2023, Lil Meech made waves when he hopped on GQ's On The Rock series to talk about his pricey bling, a $500,000 BMF chain. Fans couldn't believe he dropped that kind of money on it. But Lil Meech acted like he was straight up flexing on them, proud of the purchase.
Elliot did my new BMF piece. My old BMF pieces I don't have no more. Elliot charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams.
Elliot robbed you without a pistol, little boy.
Chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3-4 hours. My neck started hurting. The lock say Eliante on it. You know, say his name, his signature. They got the 3 big boogers on each side. So ain't no regular Cuban, you know. You might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but you know, it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3 just for the pendant. This some shit like, you gotta give my daddy, like when he come home, I gotta keep this forever, like, you know. You can't even go no bigger than this, you know. You don't see no silver or gold, you see straight the water.
At least he ain't getting an earful from his pops, seeing as Meech has the same money problems himself.
I go out and spend $50,000, $100,000 every night, 2-3 nights in a row, 3-4 nights in a row. Now you got a dudes in the corner watching that want to spend a couple $1 million with you. You see what I'm saying? I got lavish homes, lavish spots all over this mother.
To make matters worse, it looks like things aren't gonna...
Did you understand what he just said? He said he went out spending $50,000 to $100,000 a night, 3-4 nights at a time. You know, he could afford to do it. Then you got other dudes, because his money long like that. He got mansions everywhere. And then you got dudes hanging with him that got a couple of million, and they want to spend their couple of million to try and keep up with his 100 million. And before you know it, they're dead broke, and now they're going to be looking at him sideways, eyeing him, wondering, how could I get the bag? Now they think he's showing off. But it's no different than what they did when they had the bag, but they spent their little couple of million, and he's still rolling. You know what I mean? So that's what he's saying right there. He done predicted that, and now that's his son doing the same thing that he predicted that happened in the past, as far as now Little Meech is trying to keep up with Gunna, Thugger, and all these other multi-millionaire young rappers out there that we proud of. Round of applause. Thugger definitely do his thing. All right? You know, but that's where we at. And then now his son is out there doing the same thing as the little homies that had 3-4 mil that was trying to keep up with Big Meech. Now his son is the little homie trying to keep up with Thugger. You know what I mean? And the rest of the Atlanta, you know, young millionaires, that they get a round of applause again. You know what I mean? They get a round of applause again. You know? All right, relax, y'all, relax. But don't forget, man, Cashbox is coming. Cashbox is coming where you could even get money sent to you anonymously. Anonymously means that somebody could send you money and don't have to say who sent it. So let's say Rick Ross wanted to give Meech $50,000, $100,000, right? He could send Meech $100,000 and no one would know that he was the one that sent it because he wanted to be anonymous. They have that, all right? Let's keep it moving. Let's get back.
Improve anytime soon, because 50 Cent gave Lil Meech the harshest reality check. In a now deleted Instagram post, 50 shared some text messages from Lil Meech where he confronted 50 about his recent shots at his dad. They just told me you unfollowed me off Instagram, and now you are managing a skills baby with Rocket when I brought him around you first when you didn't have a clue who he was. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty in human. I go through my own shit, but I never switched up on you a little.
Yo, So all that taking your shirt off your back, nobody cares about that when you in war. The loyalty you had yesterday is the hate that he has today. Let's keep it moving.
Lil Meech also spoke on Big Meech's recent meeting with 50 Cent's longtime rival Rick Ross, saying it was all about the money. He was like, forget Ross, but he gave my dad some cash so he can pay his bills until the next season starts.
Because I spent $100,000 buying chrome heart jeans and now I can't pawn them, and I spent $500,000 buying a big chain and they got the jeweler's signature on the back and a big pendant that says BMF that I expected to give to my father, but now I can't do nothing with it. You could have pawned it and threw the concert, Little Meech.
Lil Meech went on to say, this internet stuff is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life. But 50, being 50, wasn't feeling any sympathy for the kid. When 50 saw Lil Meech's text, he hit back with, what next season, little ninja? He was basically hinting that he could recast his role on BMF, or just cancel the whole show. While some fans thought that was a little harsh, it seems like the 50s are enjoying watching the family struggle right now. He even took a shot at Meech's money troubles. 50 posted a GoFundMe link on Instagram with the caption, help Big Screech pay his $30,000 a month Airbnb. And to add insult to injury, he even threw in a shout out to quality control, saying, that's one of P's cribs, FYI. Now there's word going around that Big Meech set up a GoFundMe after his Welcome Home concert got canceled because he's desperate for cash to cover his bills.
BMF boss, the legend Big Meech, has a GoFundMe page.
What?
It was said that this GoFundMe page was set up to assist him in paying his bills since his Welcome Home concert got canceled. The funds from the Welcome Home concert was supposed to go towards his bills, and it was supposed to assist him in paying them off. Now,
the reports still haven't been confirmed yet, and some are even saying it's all fake. But that didn't stop Tony from touching on a few other things in the interview. According to him, 50 actually stopped by Meech's house after he got out of prison, and back then, things were all good between them. While most fans think the whole Rick Ross situation is the real reason for the beef, Tony had a different take. Apparently, another reason the two aren't seeing eye to eye is the fact that 50 made millions off the BMF deal while Meech is broke right now. See, Meech is used to being the boss, but it's clear that in this situation, 50's putting in way more work and making way more money than he is. That power shift? Yeah, it's definitely adding to the tension.
That was crazy. We went to Meech's house, we sat down with him, Lil Meech, and I thought, big things in the future was coming, because he was talking about stories about motherfuckers jumping in cars with bricks, and he just was telling the war stories that was amazing, where I was mesmerized, and him and 50 was kicking it and everything was good, and then you fast forward to the Ross thing, and that's when everything kind of went left, BMF was the last niggas to do it in the game. My album came out in 2005. Them niggas was lit, but I think something with 50 is like, 50 is the type of, I think certain just don't want him to be in the driver's seat all the time. That's how it seemed, because...
You know what? That's a good point, right? But maybe it's that, just maybe it's that 50 just don't want no one else in the driver's seat but him. Because he sure driving on Diddy. He driving on Jay. He driving on anybody that's getting the bag that look like his competition. But that's how the streets are. It's a dog-eat-dog world. And 50 Cent is a pit bull that's eating as he's going along. And he don't want nobody else eating around his meat. So, it could be, that people don't want him in the driver's seat. But I don't see anybody wouldn't want him in the driver's seat because he's an excellent driver. He just don't want nobody around him. And that's what it is. And he already knew that Meech was going to get in that ass. So that's why he had to put a damper in it to slow it down. But Meech still going to get his money because, like I said, 90% of the people watching this YouTube video, 90% of them don't have a problem with anybody telling on anything. And those are the ones that's going to support what Meech is going through, and he don't have anything to worry about, just so you understand, But that's where we at. Yayo said it best. Let's keep it moving. All right?
It just seemed like a bad deal. You was with 50. He's talking about stuff in the future. He made your family money. You would think you would be a little bit appreciative, but motherfuckers don't have to be loyal to 50 in business. I guess that's how Meech felt, because he's his own boy.
In fact,
Nah, man, that's what I'm saying. Nah, I don't agree with that. You know, I agree with what Yayo said. Let me say that. But I don't agree with that statement. But like you said, maybe that's how Meech felt, right? It don't matter who's the boss or who's driving as long as we get to the same destination. If we both trying to get to the bag, it don't matter if I'm in the back, the passenger, or even in the trunk. Just don't tie me up. But I don't have a problem with riding in the trunk. Just give me my cut when we get there. That's the same way, right? Let's ride. Cause what came to mind is that Set It Off movie when they went to go rob the bank. Shorty went in the bank and Jada Pinkett ran out, took the bus all the way back. And when she got back, you know what I mean? She got cold feet, so she get back and she tell Queen Latifah, you know, where's my cut? I said, what cut? You left. Nah, that was the other one. That wasn't Jada that ran. That was the one with the baby, the little dark-skinned girl. But she ran and she said, where my cut? They said, you don't get nothing. You ran. And Queen Latifah like, nah, you don't get nothing, because that's the way it is on the street. That movie was excellent. Queen Latifah played the hell out of that role. Round of applause. Should have got an Oscar. If you think, relax, y'all, relax. If you think Queen Latifah should have got an Oscar for the role she played and Set It Off, y'all put it in the comments. But you met TT, I think her name was. Remember when TT ran all the way back and said where her cut after she done ran out the bank, didn't even put the job in and didn't do nothing, and all of a sudden she still want to get paid? But that's what's going on right now. Meech, all you did was put the work in before. Round of applause to that. Round of applause to that. Relax, y'all. Relax. So what you were doing was setting the foundation for Little Meech. Little Meech got the torch and he running with the torch. All you had to do was fall back. I don't know what possessed you to think that you was in a position just coming home fresh out the penitentiary after 2 decades damn near, and now all of a sudden you trying to run up against 50 Cent or run wild in a world that you have no connections in. This is not the drug world. You don't have the connect. You're with 50. He is the plug, El Capitan. Whether they like it or not, whoever want to hate on him, 50's the man. He doing his thing. Can't take that from him. Never could you do that. Don't like a lot of things he doing, a lot of things he say. Let me say that. But, you know, he's his old man. That's how he feel. He going to say it. He going to stand on it. So I'm not going to sit here and nitpick at what 50 Cent say, because I'm not chasing views. I'm just laying the laws of the land so y'all understand.
Tony went on to talk about how 50 looked out for Lil Meech too, while his dad was locked up. Believe it or not, 50 actually paid for Lil Meech's acting school, basically changing the whole direction of his life.
You know, but when you take Little Meech and you put him in acting school, you know, you take him from Detroit. I remember him rapping when he was rapping and nobody was helping him from what I seen. Cause I remember when Lil Meech was rapping. Nobody helped him, and then 50 put him in acting school, kept it on the low, and he made all this money.
So when it comes to 50 Cent and Big Meech, fans can clearly see who's been the better parent to Lil Meech. In fact, 50 even decided to flex his mentoring skills recently on Instagram. Thinking about it, I think Big Meech was uncomfortable with me and Mimi's relationship. I'm telling Mimi I don't want him doing substances. He told him he used to do X, like it's cool. I tell Mimi chill to stop spending all your money. He told him how much money he blew, and that's not all. Apparently when things started going downhill, 50 took it upon himself to send Lil Meech to rehab. People don't know I had to send Mimi to rehab. Russell Hornsby peeped he was high as EF on set. He started throwing up at a weapons test. Then Ian told me the little N-word had whippets in his truck. I said, what are whippets? I look at the stuff that is in baby guns. FYI, meme is 50's nickname for Lil Meech. With that in mind, it looks like 50's pretty proud of everything he's done for Meech. In another post, 50 talked about how he made the family millions. He made it clear that no one should blame him for the current financial mess the father-son duo is in. 50 even posted some old footage of Lil Meech and Rick Ross' daughter, Toy Roberts, back when they were together, with the caption, "Why old boy didn't look out for Mimi and send him to acting school for a big screech. All your people that were out did nothing for him." He also wrote, "You come home thinking you are the black Pablo Escobar," and effed him up, referring to the reports that the next season of BMF will be the last one if it's not canceled beforehand. 50 also said, "I helped your family make over $5 million legit dollars. It's not my fault it's all gone. Before finally taking shots, Big Meech. You think people don't see that you want to shine so bad when you wear the baby's jewelry. Gives the baby back his jewelry. That said, some fans believe Big Meech could have avoided all this drama if he just stayed loyal to 50. These two were set to make BMF movies and spin-offs together, and Big Meech could have easily pocketed $30 to $40 million. But instead, he went and took that picture with Rick Ross, which ended up messing up his relationship with 50.
Look at what he did. You sided with Ross, some bozo. You got 19 years of being incarcerated. That 50 could have took that and converted that to about 5 seasons, and then turned around and then did the overall movie. He had a good 30 to 50 million he could have made. Now you standing next to a mother who couldn't even keep a concert going. Rick Ross is on the concert.
Second on the line.
In about 10 days, Ross gonna throw him away. Now, I'm gonna be real with you, Meech. If Rick Ross, seeing what he did to you, because he knew what he was doing standing on the side of him, right? He know Meech ain't thinking straight. If he don't throw you 3 wing stops, you ought to knock that down. What 50 gonna do? He finna burn that down. He gonna release that last season, and then he's gonna release the Tammy and discredit everything that people thought that man.
In fact, some folks believe that by linking up with Rick Ross, Big Meech not only messed up his own situation, but also sealed his son's future too.
Meech getting out of jail and choosing to work with his son's boss's rival is prime example of how an unhealed parent can literally ruin your life. They will mess up relationships with your friends, with your significant other. You might even lose your job. Cause nobody can tell me that Big Meech working with Rick Ross, his son's boss's known rival, was not deliberate. Okay, that is a very conscious choice. And why might a parent do that, right? Maybe if they have some trauma, you know, a little bit of resentment and jealousy. Because sometimes with an unhealed parent, all of the reasons they should be proud of you are the same reasons why they're a little bit jealous of you, right? He should have came home and made his coming home about family. You know, passing the ranks to his son on TV, making millions, looking good, he acting, got a career. You shouldn't even be all on the phones, on Instagram, trying to do a car show with Rick Ross. It'll never be 2008 again, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't healed that. So now you trying to relive your 20s. So you're not seeing your son's accomplishments as this is my son's accomplishments. You're seeing it as like almost like competition. Like, oh, you trying to one-up me? Now the real Big Meech is home. So now let me show you how to get some money. Let me show you how to do it. I'm gonna go work with your boss's rival. You think Big Meech thought about how him working with Rick Ross would affect his son? Cause no, all I'm thinking about is some clout. Some temporary clout, because let's be clear, that relationship with Rick Ross and Big Meech is not real. It's not genuine. If somebody is with you just to spite somebody else, that is not a genuine bond.
At the end of the day, Big Meech is the one to blame for his financial troubles. Not only was he bad at managing his millions, but he also messed up his son's chance at securing a stable future. That said, there might still be a chance for Meech to turn things around. Rick Ross recently said he's interested in making a BMF movie, and he posted about it on his Instagram stories, but we'll have to wait and see if Ross can actually make it happen. After all, he couldn't even pull off that welcome back concert for Meech.
So that's the breaking news, man. That's the breaking news. What do you think about this whole saga going on? Somebody let me know something, because I just don't get it for the life of me, how we even got this far that, you know, they actually say that Meech is running with come on, dog. And then his son, all that money, the chain, everything, got rid of it. Where did it go? Yo, I'm about to tap out. Been on here long enough. I'm going to tell my daughter to react to this video. Check out Juanita Mecca Audio at YouTube. All right?
Cheers. Cheers. The crime. The crime. The crime. The crime. The crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now you trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend it air. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can get back to the
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now you trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend it air. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can get back to the
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.